What was the best relationship advice you ever got? Be open with your partner about your feelings. Just because a relationship ends doesn't mean it wasn't a good one or a successful one. Always act before making serious decisions or before having serious important conversations. I have two. If it's important to one of you, it's important to both of you. None of you're making a big deal out of nothing because that's a one-way ticket to poor communication. Two people can do the same thing for completely different reasons. Assumptions for intentions behind actions are easy to make and dangerous. I guess it's just one, learn to communicate well. Each partner should strive to give more than they receive. Your partner cannot read minds. Tell them when something is upsetting you. Not everybody is skilled at reading body language or between the lines of whatever you're saying. When you're wrong, admit it. When you're right, don't be a dick about it, and apologize if you are. Ask yourself what's more important, your pride or your relationship? Saying it again because I cannot express this enough, your partner cannot read minds. Seriously, stop expecting them to automatically know exactly what you are thinking at any given time about anything. Never lose respect for each other, as in, never disrespect your partner by calling him her names, bad words, etc. Who gave me that advice had that happened in his marriage, which was over already, and he said that he regretted that. He should have regretted cheating too, but he didn't mention that, huh? Not sure if it is the best advice I've received, but it is the one I remember the most. When I was a teenager working at the mall, this older couple came up to my register and somehow we started chatting about relationships. They told me, if you're mad at your significant other, go buy them a candy bar. I can't remember their specific justification for that, but I've been married for 15 years and have done that on multiple occasions. Make sure she's always your girlfriend. The stuff you did when you first started dating, keep doing that. I work in a weird industry where my co-workers think we are experts in every field. I get a ton of unsolicited advice on every subject. This was actually pretty good. It's easy to get stuck in a routine, but that's why the little things are so important. Something like a just because bouquet of flowers, an unexpected love letter, or a long hug shows how important she still is to you. The first piece of advice that comes to mind just happened recently. One of my best friends told me that especially in LDRs, it's always better to talk about your problems than to message each other about them. You could have the best intentions, but he can't hear the way you say what you're gonna say through text, and it could either come across in an ugly way or impersonal at the very least. Make sure to say it how you mean it, you know. Big shout out to Rudy for being the homie and telling me this when he did LMAO. Women don't want you to solve the problem, they just want you to listen and empathize. Drives me insane, but prevents a lot of conflict once you realize and act appropriately. You won't notice all the things the other person do for you or your life together. If you feel you're doing 60% of the work, you're probably at 50/50. A relationship is full of compromises. For your modern day young people, don't go in your girlfriend's social media or her inbox. Random thirsty dudes should be irrelevant to you. She is with you for a reason. Don't talk bad about your partner to friends, family. If you're having a fight or disagreement with your partner, talk to them about it directly rather than complaining to people outside the relationship. Appreciate who your partner is instead of dreaming about who you want them to be. Don't compare the flaws your partner has with the benefits of someone else. Compare your partner's benefits to other people's flaws and you will see yourself falling in love with them over and over again. Listen and speak your mind. Don't hide anything, don't suffer quietly, and always say I love you when you think it. You may be together, but you are independent people. Get space to be yourselves. Make sure to travel with your partner, if possible, before asking them to marry you. Being in a new environment and in an enclosed space for a period of time with someone may bring out different behaviors you were not aware of prior to the experience. Don't lose yourself trying to receive your partner's love. Pick your battles. It's okay to let small things go sometimes. Like last night, I went to bed before my boyfriend. I knew he was tired but still wanted to stay up. He fell asleep on the couch. I knew that would happen. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed because I like sleeping next to him, but what would getting pissed and starting a fight accomplish? He doesn't do it all the time. The person who cares least in the relationship has the most control. In a good relationship you have three people, you, me and us. You need to take care of all three. If there's no trust, then there's no us. Trust is essential to a relationship working out. You either get married or you break up. Essentially, after the 3-month honeymoon phase, if you don't see yourself being with your partner long term, you should just end it. People don't tend to change. For the first year of our relationship, my boyfriend and I would get in these big fights, caused by either of our exes, but more often than not it was me fighting with him about something. I would forgive him but always hold resentment and just not be over it. My closest guy friend from college was always there for me, but after a while he was annoyed with me coming to him crying or complaining, so he said, "Listen, decide if you want to be in this relationship. If you do, forgive him, and take some actions so you aren't so fucking bitter. If not, cut the guy loose and end his misery. Either way, I'm done with Wiles drama." Surprisingly, it worked. Talk to your partner, not everyone else, about your relationship. Relationships aren't 50/50, they're 100/100. This, and learning to communicate feelings, wants, desires, and thoughts etc. is essential. They're the foundation of a happy and healthy relationship. Don't look for a temple, look for land to build it on. Relationships take work, time, resources. There's no easy answer. Remember that you teach people how to treat you. Write double quotation mark. It's so true that when we first meet someone, it's a crucial time for setting boundaries, and if you don't clearly communicate what they are, the other person may take that as an invitation to walk all over you. Find someone who would be fine without you and could provide for themselves. Do as much together as you can. If you or your partner don't enjoy something, do something you both enjoy instead. Long version, specifically rate major activities from -3 to 3 points. If a major activity is not a 0 or better for both of you, just don't do that activity, because you could be doing something you both enjoy, or at least don't actively dislike, and growing together instead. For example, if you both sorta like going for walks, 1, but you love football, 3, and your partner sorta dislikes it, -1, go for a walk together instead of watching football alone while your partner does something else. You have to learn to love yourself before you can really love someone else. Not having enough self-confidence and independence can be crippling. Chris Rock's tambourine bit is one I think about a lot. People say relationships are tough. No, they're not. They are only tough when only one person's working on it. 2 people can move a couch real easy. 1 person can't move it at all. Double quote. There is no equality in relationships. You are both there to serve. When you're in a relationship, you're in a band, and when you're in a band, you have roles that you play in the band. Sometimes you sing lead, but sometimes you're on tambourine. And if you're on tambourine, you better play it right. Play it with a fucking smile. Because nobody wants to see a mad tambourine player. Double quote. This is something I just fundamentally realized over the holidays about my own partner after 2 years together. Look at their family. In good and in bad, it explains why they are the way they are. Don't build up this perfect person in your head. You will never find them and you will be disappointed. It's fine to have boundaries and certain qualities you want in a person, but don't spend so much time obsessing over what they do, what they look like, etc. Be open, and you will find someone better than you could imagine. Also, don't hide things from one another. Be honest with each other if you feel hurt. Don't expect your so to pick up on little clues that you leave for them. If you are hurt, tell them. Don't expect them to guess it themselves. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. When I was younger, meaning don't go all out for one person. Keep it cool and collected, and everything will be okay if it doesn't work out. When in a relationship, the best advice I give people after being in a long-term relationship is to communicate and compromise. If you can't do both of those things, most likely it will eventually not work. From a little old band called 38 Special. Hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you're gonna lose control. If someone is into you, you'll know. They will find time for you. Too busy with work, school means they are just not that interested. If they were interested, they should find a tiny slice of time. If you have to ask or wonder after you've hooked up, no, they are not interested. When you're getting frustrated with your partner, realize that they have to deal with such an imperfect person as you. Saying I'm sorry is not admitting fault. It's not about who is right and who is wrong, but acknowledging the other person's feelings. Marriage is not 50/50. Both have to give 100%. 1. If you are an emotional person, marry someone kind and understanding. No bad guy attitude to toughen you up attitude. When you are sad or confused, you'll need a listener or maybe even a shoulder to cry on, and this is okay. To see how the person reacts towards different people, to themselves, old, young, annoying, reserved, stiff upper lip, poor, rich, old-fashioned mentality, disabled, other races and religions, hypochondriacs, etc. This will teach you a lot about them. 3. Also, how do they react when they are angry or things don't go according to plan? Do they lose their shit and don't apologize, humiliate others and only see their emotions and side of things, even after they've cooled off? Red flag, big red flag. Communication is key. Talk to each other. It's you and yourself versus the problem, not you against each other. You only truly love those that love you. Anything else is some sort of problem you have with yourself. Maybe you had a mother that didn't give you enough love, and because of that you now love people that don't love you back. It's hard to overcome this, but starting to love yourself before you try to love someone else is the best you can do. A true relationship is someone who accepts your past, supports your present, loves you and encourages your future. Honestly, it was 2 throwaway lines in songs. She was 1 in a million. Which means there's 5 more just in New South Wales. And, in a single moment, you might be perfect. Really helped me get over heartbreak when my most serious relationship failed. We just changed in incompatible directions. 23-year-old her was 22-year-old me soulmate. 3.5 years later that was no longer true, and those lines helped when we both realized it at about the same time. It also helped us split up on friendly terms. If she ever needs a body hidden, I'd do it, no questions asked. Do not choose someone based on how much you feel you love them. Choose someone whose imperfections you can bear. Basically, think of creating a great companionship that can endure even the worst situations. Being in love does not mean euphorically looking into each other's eyes, but looking out into the same direction. If someone doesn't make an effort to be with you, it's because they don't want to be with you. For the right person, there will hardly be an obstacle big enough. Take the L and move on. If it's important to one of you, it's important to both of you. None of you're making a big deal out of nothing, because that's a one-way ticket to poor communication. Your significant other isn't just your boyfriend or girlfriend. They should be someone you consider to be your best friend. Judge their actions, not their words. Actions are more honest reflections of them than their words. Communication is important in a relationship, but not as important as compromise. Compromise is key. Both need to be flexible and do things that each other likes even if you do not want to. Compromise is key. That and finding a woman who swallows. That's the key to a great marriage as well. Sometime after the announcement of our engagement, my ex-wife's father took me aside. He said, "So you're going to marry my daughter? How? You want my advice? Run." I laughed it off, but I wish I would have listened to him. He knew what he was talking about. Always remain true to yourself and don't ever expect someone to change who they really are. My dad's best friend's stepdaughter heard I was having trouble with my then boyfriend, ex now, and told me you deserve someone who can handle you. She meant the fact that I'm always on the go, before Corona, had many friends, volunteered plenty of places, worked and went to school. She knew that I did a lot and that my ex was struggling with that because he wasn't the same. Now I fully realize that she's right. I do deserve someone that can handle me and the craziness that is my life. She was only 6 at the time. When you wear rose-colored glasses, all the red flags look white. Meaning, see that person for who they are and open your eyes to their actions and reactions. Have the difficult conversations, talk about money, health, kids, and expectations. For people who have cheated on others and feel terrible about it, don't. Sure, you made a mistake and probably hurt your lover, but don't tear yourself up about it. Use that mistake as a way to learn. If your lover chooses to either break up with you or stay with you, learn from your mistake. And don't ever think that you shouldn't date again if they do break up with you. You can always find a new person who might even be better than your ex and might make you happier than them. I'm not proud to admit that I have cheated on my ex and they broke up with me. I hated myself for it, but then some time later I met my current GF and I'm so happy that I'm with her now, and I love her and she loves me. So if you're a cheater and you feel bad about it, then it's okay, learn from it and don't do it again. If you're a cheater and you don't feel bad about it,